What's up, YouTube? This is Mathis97 and welcome back to another episode of WWE 2K14 Universe Mode. That was a bit of a louder intro than I had intended. Maybe I'll fix that in post-editing. But, yeah, I know. I kinda, I didn't originally want to do this, but, I gave in to the temptation of another episode of an official finale episode for this season of Universe Mode. So here we are. We've got a WWE Superstars Special edition of WWE 2K14 Universe Mode, and this is the official last episode of WWE 2K14 Universe Mode. So as you can see, we're here with WWE Superstars, and this show, I'm gonna warn you ahead of time, this isn't this isn't based on, advancing a whole bunch of storylines. There are a few that are going to kind of benefit from this episode, but mostly this is just sort of, kind of matches I felt like putting together. Like, this is mainly a Raw vs. SmackDown show, for the most part. Our main event is between the WWE Champion John Cena and the World Heavyweight Champion Mark Henry. We've got a Divas Championship matchup here, so, this is the only title on the line on the show. So, I guess I won't be offended if you just stick around to see the title match and then get on out of here. I mean, that's perfectly fine. This isn't really meant to be a huge advancement in terms of, the storylines and whatnot. This is just kind of an episode to kind of put together some potential sort of fantasy matchups, like that CM Punk Edge match that we've got planned. We got Christian and Dolph Ziggler set to go one-on-one. Cody Rhodes and R-Truth, two superstars who both lost at TLC last night, looking to rebound with a nice victory. And then, of course, we have Tensai with Brodus Clay in his corner, taking on the powerhouse of the Shield, Roman Reigns. So if you do feel like skipping out after this match, that's perfectly fine. But just letting you know that you'll be missing a killer card if you do so. So now let's go ahead and move on into our Divas Championship match that will kick off the show here. And as you can see, this is a fatal four-way match between the Divas Champion Kaitlyn, who retained the title against Lita last night at TLC. We've got Summer Rae here coming down to the ring. We remember, to take it back to the Survivor Series pre-show, she was on that winning team with Oksana when they defeated NATALYA and Lita. And then, of course, we got NATALYA, who's been on a pretty big win streak. She's been winning a fair amount of matches ever since, losing the Divas title. In the tournament, she was eliminated by Lita, but she did still have an impressive performance nonetheless. And then, of course, the fourth participant in this match is Nikki Bella. And we gotta remember, she knocked off AJ Lee, who at the time was the former #1 contender for the Divas title. So Nikki Bella, this is her first big opportunity at the Divas Championship. And the same goes for Summer Rae. This is her, her first opportunity at the title, but this is Nikki Bella's first, kind of main stage sort of match. So she's got a big opportunity to make a name for herself here in this match. So let's get this underway. So we've got a fatal four-way. So Kaitlyn, she doesn't even have to be pinned to lose that Divas title. I mean, she doesn't have to be pinned. She doesn't even have to submit. For example, Nikki Bella could pin Summer Rae. She could hit that knee pinner right now. 1, 2, 3. And Nikki Bella would be the new Divas Champion, and there would be nothing that Kaitlyn or any other Diva in this match could do about it. But that's just all, hypothetical situation. Kaitlyn, she's been, a very dominant champion, ever since she defeated NATALYA and AJ in that triple threat back at Night of Champions. And she defeated NATALYA back at No Way Out in the Hell in the Cell. She defeated Lita last night at TLC, and at Survivor Series, she defeated AJ Lee, her former best friend. And that they've been best friends, what am I saying, former? They're still best friends, AJ and Kaitlyn, they don't really, their paths haven't really crossed other than, back at Night of Champions and then at Survivor Series. The paths haven't really crossed too often, but, back when AJ did get that opportunity at the Divas title, that was one heck of a match those two put on. You could really feel the chemistry in that matchup. But now here we go, this fatal four-way match. Right now it looks like we got Kaitlyn going after Nikki Bella, and NATALYA's got Summer Rae over there in the corner. As, look at this, oh, big back body drop there, taking Summer Rae down. And, an interesting thing to point out up to this point in Universe Mode, every Divas Champion that we've had so far has been a blonde. And, that's not, too important, I guess, to the series, but I just thought it was a little bit of a fun fact, because, I mean, we started with Beth Phoenix as the Divas Champion. Then, of course, NATALYA defeated Beth Phoenix. And then Kaitlyn defeated NATALYA. So, I mean, so far, all the Divas Champion have been, you know, blonde. So, I don't know. I have to say Nikki Bella, she might be a bit out of her league here. Not only because she hasn't competed in this kind of a mainstream match, but she's not a blonde either. And, I mean, she's going up against 3 blondes in this match. So, I don't know. Maybe just by those odds, Nikki Bella is already the underdog. But, you know, Kaitlyn, she has only a 25% chance of retaining the title. She has a 75% chance of losing it in this Fatal 4-Way environment. As we can see right now, this is not where Kaitlyn wants to be. Nikki Bella doing a pretty good job. I mean, if you don't want the Divas Champion to retain, you know, this is what you got to do in a Fatal 4-Way environment. But, of course, I'm sure Nikki Bella wants to win the title as well. So, those two Divas are going to want to have to get back into the ring here fairly quickly. Because right now, I mean, if Summer Rae or NATALYA were to try to pin or make each other tap out here, as Summer Rae's doing right now with that camel clutch, I mean, you know, they could do that right now. I mean, Nikki Bella and Kaitlyn are not only right now are they oblivious to what's going on in the ring, but they're going to have to, you know, they're going to have a bit more of a distance to try to run to get back in the ring. As look at this, NATALYA counters a suplex there with a knee right to the head of Summer Rae. And now she's got her up there. Look at the strength of NATALYA. One of my favorite moves in this game. NATALYA, look at this. Stalling suplexes, you know, just showing off the strength. Not only did she lift Summer... Wait, cover here by Kaitlyn. Oh, but a kick out by Nikki Bella. But not only did NATALYA lift Summer Rae high above her head with that suplex, but, I mean, you know, she held her up there for a good few seconds. There's a cover and a kick out by Summer Rae as Kaitlyn now had the camel clutch locked in. But it was broken up by NATALYA. And now look at this. Summer Rae into the cover. 1, 2, 3. Summer Rae has done it. I missed what move she hit to put NATALYA down there, but Summer Rae, just like that. I mean, Kaitlyn, she was over there distracted in the corner. She was going for a roll-up attempt on Nikki Bella, oblivious to the pin attempt from Summer Rae. And just like that, we have a new WWE Divas Champion as Summer Rae gets the win. She pins NATALYA in this matchup. So, you know, NATALYA, she's been working hard to get to this point, you know, to get herself back in the Divas Championship, get herself back in a contention. But just like that, Summer Rae sneaks in and takes the victory, pinning NATALYA. So, wow, that's got to be a bit of a downer for NATALYA. You know, she worked so hard to get to this point, and just like that, Summer Rae has captured the Divas title. And, you know, Summer Rae has not nearly had as much momentum as NATALYA has up to this point. But imagine Kaitlyn. You know, Kaitlyn, she held that title for a fair amount of time. I mean, so far, each Divas Champion has held that title for about 3 months. So Kaitlyn, her reign has certainly... Wait a minute! Whoa! What did... Brodus Clay, he was heading out to the rings. He was heading out to ringside for the next match, and somebody just ran him over with that limo. I was about to say limbo. That's not right. But, wow. Out of nowhere, Brodus Clay appears to be out of commission. Tensai, he's coming down to the ring for this match. I mean, obviously, he knows something's up here. And I think this may be some sort of plan by the Shield. We gotta think that was either Seth Rollins or Dean Ambrose in that limo that just ran over Brodus Clay. Brodus Clay, I don't think he's going to be able to make it out to this ring. I don't even know if he's going to be able to compete ever again. And now Tensai, looks like he's going to have to do this one on his own. And especially after coming off of that Tag Team Championship #1 contenders match loss to the Primetime Players. That's a big disappointment for the main event players, or as you may know them, Tons of Funk. And Tensai, I'm sure he's got to be pretty bitter about what went down a few nights ago on the TLC last night on the TLC pre-show. Roman Reigns now making his way down to the ring as, of course, the Shield coming off a huge victory against the Authority in that 6-man tag team match. And, well, looks like the Shield is trying to make another statement here tonight. As we see, there's Seth Rollins. He's out here at ringside now. And that's only going to decrease Tensai's odds of surviving in this match. So I think that means that had to be Dean Ambrose who was driving that limo. Dean Ambrose had to be the one who just took out Brodus Clay. The Lunatic Fringe, truly living up to the nickname, as you know, just out of nowhere. sidelining Brodus Clay, hitting him with that car. Man, I mean, wow. I don't even know what to say. Look at that. Whoa. Tensai, I didn't even know he had that kind of athletic ability in him. Hitting that nice monkey flip there is, you know, right here. This is what Tensai's got to do. He's got to try to take a quick... Oh, and look at that. Roman Reigns just shuts him down with a Samoan drop there. As Tensai, you know, he's got to get out of this quickly, or else he could, you know, the same fate that befell his partner Brodus Clay could befall him here tonight. I mean, Tensai, his career, I think, is in jeopardy right now. Because, you know, I mean, like they say, desperate men do desperate things. So Tensai may be, you know, a very dangerous threat, especially now that he's known, now that he knows what just went down and what just happened to his partner Brodus Clay backstage. But, I mean, right now, he's in serious jeopardy here. I mean, he's not only taking on Roman Reigns, but Seth Rollins is out there at ringside. That's just a 2-on-1 advantage for the Shield. I mean, we've seen how, you know, the Shield, they've taken out legends, icons in this business. Triple H, The Rock, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, just to name a few. Those, I mean, the many, many victims by the Shield. The Shield has just destroyed many a superstar, many a legend, many an icon in this business. And Tensai could very well just be, you know, one more name on that list. As we've seen Brodus Clay's name was just added there. But here we go. Tensai. Oh, nice shoulder block there, taking down Roman Reigns. And now Tensai. Oh, but Roman with a counter and a kick right to the gut. As, you know, I think the longer this match goes, the more it's going to favor the Shield. Tensai, I mean, do whatever you can to get yourself out of this situation. But I think Tensai, he might have too much pride, especially coming off of that loss, and now he's trying to avenge his tag team partner. I don't think Tensai is going to be satisfied with just surviving by, you know, losing via countout or disqualification. Tensai, he's going to want to try to defend his fallen partner's honor. He's looking to he's looking to avenge Brodus Clay, and I don't think Tensai, I don't think he's going to just leave. I think he's going to fight this thing out to the bitter end, which is very noble of him, but I don't know if that's the smartest strategy here, as Roman Reigns now just, you know, has, for the most part in this match, is taking control. But, I mean, Tensai, he's got to do whatever he can to survive and just get out of here. I mean, he's going to be going for the victory, but then he's got to do, you know, whatever it takes to get that victory, because, you know, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins and just the Shield, they have just dismantled unit after unit and just have taken down superstars, ended their careers, just like what happened last night. You know, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall both suffered torn quads in that match. So, I mean, the Shield, they've just been, you know, taking people down left and right. As, look at this. Oh, what a counter by Tensai there. I believe Roman Reigns may have been attempting a spear, but Tensai caught him there. And now look at Tensai. Oh, look at the strength. Oh, what a shoulder breaker right to the gut. Oh, man, what a painful move that must have been for Roman Reigns. And look at Tensai. What's he doing this time? Oh, what a backbreaker. Ah, I can feel that one sitting here in the booth. Ah, man, that's got to be painful. Roman Reigns. Now I think Roman Reigns may be the one who's in danger. Is Tensai, you know, really letting that aggressiveness get to him. But he's got to be careful. That could potentially cost him. And big kick counter. And now what is this? Roman, spear! Spear! Spear from Roman Reigns. And Tensai just gets broken in half. And I think that's going to bring the end to this one here. 1, 2, 3. And just like that, this match is over. Tensai has been broken in half. He failed in his attempt to avenge his tag team partners. You know, I don't even know what to call it. His brutal assault backstage. But Tensai, I mean, he got some pretty big shots in there at the end. First of all, that gutbuster there, or right to the side, right to the ribs. And then, of course, following up with a vicious backbreaker. But then, of course, you know, the move that ends it all. Roman Reigns with the spear. Now, what is this? Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins grabbing a steel chair. And, oh, thank you, Roman Reigns, finally being merciful here. And, oh, but of course, why would I fall for that trick? I mean, is merciful even a word that's in the Shield's vocabulary? I don't think so. I mean, does the Shield even know the word mercy? And even if they do they even know how to give mercy to their opponents? I mean, I don't even know what to say. That's just too... I mean, the Shield didn't even have a beef with the main event players. Why did they... I don't understand the Shield's motives. Why would they attack the main event players? I mean, they never did anything to the Shield that I'm aware of. But, you know, I don't know. That's just something I guess we're going to have to wait to find out. But now it's time to move on to the main event of this episode. Or not the main event, what am I saying? This is the third match. Sorry, I break this up into, you know, so it'll render faster for when I do the pre-commentary stuff. I break it down into separate parts. So I break it up into, depending on the length. This one I broke it up into 2 videos. And this is the last match on the first video. So I apologize for that. This is not the main event. I mean, you know, maybe this is. Maybe in your eyes this is the main event. I mean, you know, some people say that the main event is not always the last match on the card. So, I mean, maybe that's the case here on WWE Superstars. Maybe this special episode is a very special matchup right here. Maybe we give you the main event early in the show. Maybe. I don't know. I guess it all depends on opinions and preferences. But here we go. CM Punk and the Rated R Superstar Edge set to go one-on-one. So we know Edge made his return after, you know, how long would it have been? SummerSlam. He was competing to try and earn his way into a World Heavyweight Championship Battle Royal back at SummerSlam, and he had a match against Alberto Del Rio, where Del Rio won the match by breaking Edge's arm. So that, of course, sidelined Edge for several months, and he made his return, you know, on the last episode of SmackDown. He made his return and called out, you know, the top dog on the show. He called out Mark Henry. Basically said, hey, you know, my best friend Christian, he's facing you for the title this Sunday. And, you know, not only can he defeat you, but I'm going to show you that I can still defeat you. And that Edge believes that SmackDown is his show. And, you know, while his prophecy of Christian winning the World Heavyweight Championship and those two having a future match for the title didn't come to fruition, you know, he did still manage to get the victory over Mark Henry, like he said. So that very well could make Edge the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, I don't know. I guess we're going to have to wait and find out on the next episode of SmackDown when WWE 2K14 Universe Mode rolls around. But Edge, you know, he made a big statement on the last episode of SmackDown with his return. And, you know, so far he's off on a good foot. You know, making his return with a big victory over Mark Henry. So even if he loses here, I still think, you know, he's got a fair amount of momentum in his corner, and he's got a lot going for him over there on the blue brand known as SmackDown. But as for CM Punk, you know, he's on kind of the other end of the scale. You know, he's kind of lost himself ever since he lost the WWE Championship back at Capital Punishment to Dean Ambrose. I mean, ever since then, you know, Vengeance, he lost a tag team match when he paired up with Daniel Bryan to the Shield. Then at SummerSlam, he lost a #1 contenders match for the WWE title against John Cena. Night of Champions, he had an opportunity to qualify for the King of the Ring tournament, but he was unsuccessful there. Didn't compete well, actually, he did have a match at No Way Out against Alberto Del Rio when we found out, you know, the next night that Del Rio had been brought over to Raw. So that was essentially Del Rio's, you know, unofficial debut on Raw, or as a Raw superstar, I should say. But Del Rio got the win there. Well, no, actually, Punk did get the win at No Way Out, but afterwards, Del Rio did give him a low blow. And then back at Survivor Series, Punk was not on the card, and Punk was not on the card for TLC. So CM Punk, I mean, just kind of been in a bit of a funk. Hasn't been competing on the pay-per-views. He hasn't been, you know, earning his way onto the cards. But a victory over Edge, I think, could be a nice way to kind of come back and get himself, you know, in there. But I gotta say, you know, in the month leading up to TLC, CM Punk did get a victory, a big victory on Monday Night Raw against The Undertaker, if I recall correctly. Actually, it might have been prior to Survivor Series. Punk may have got the win there. But of course, you know, the whole rivalry that had been going on between between Cena and Taker. I mean, Punk just really didn't have an opportunity to get himself inserted into that title picture. But now he's got a big opportunity, especially with the win over Edge here. Look at the counter into a suplex. Nice move there by Punk. And now look at this, Edge just grabbing at the side of the face to CM Punk just smashing his head off the mat. And my commentary is going to run a little bit over my time limit, so I just got to turn my phone alarm off here. Because I think I'm going to go like a minute over. But you don't care. I don't even know why I brought that up. I don't know, because I can't multitask today, apparently. But here we go now. Camel Clutch locked in by CM Punk. And Edge now, he's locked in the center of the ring. Can he get out of it? And yes, I think he just managed to slip out of that one. CM Punk may have other plans in mind here. As nice, oh, what a counter by Punk there. And look at this, float over, DDT connects. Spiking Edge's head into the mat. And now CM Punk, what's he going for here? He's got Edge with a scoop slam. And he's looking for another leg drop right to the face there. Taking Edge down. And now CM Punk. He's got the arm, and look at this, just hammering away there with that elbow right to the shoulder blade of Edge. And look at this, wasting little time. CM Punk locks in the Anaconda Vice. And Edge, I don't know, can he get his foot over to that rope break? I don't think he's going to be able to get the rope break. He's going to have to try to power out of this one. And I think he just managed to do so. He just managed to escape the submission hold. Now look at that. Look at Edge. He's going for something there, but Punk countered into a roll-up. But luckily that time, Edge was able to get the rope break. And now look at this. Shoulder block taking Punk down. And now Edge could be looking to fire up a comeback here, looking to build some momentum. Trying to get a second win here, but Punk, just like that, takes him down with a neck breaker. But Edge back to his feet, delivers a clothesline, delivers another one. And look at this, Punk went for a clothesline, but Edge countered and took him down with a face buster. And now the Rated R Superstar looking for an execution, but CM Punk takes him down. He was able to counter into a nice side Russian leg sweep. And now Punk into the cover. 1, 2. Oh, but Edge managed to kick out there. It was a very close call for the Rated R Superstar. And it appears that CM Punk may have Edge's number here tonight. But Edge, he's trying to fight back, trying to prove that that is not the case. And look at this. Flapjack planning it. Punk face first into the mat. And now Edge. He's got Punk. Punk is dazed. But yet another counter as Punk takes Edge down. Edge may have been going for that execution once more. And now look at Punk. Oh, went for the springboard clothesline, but Edge was able to get out of the way. Crossbody takes Punk down. And now Edge. Edge was going to the corner, may have been signaling for the spear, but Punk was able to kick back up to his feet. Now dodges a spear in the corner. And CM Punk now just rubbing that boot right into the face, right across the nose of Edge. And now Punk, look at this kick right to the gut. And Punk, Edge was able to block it. Punk was looking to fire up a comeback now, but Edge blocked it. And now here's Edge looking for the spear, but Punk countered, able to trip up the leg there. And now delivers a shot right to the knee. And look at this, CM Punk, center of the ring. He's got the Anaconda Vice locked in for a second time. And Edge, he's unable to get out of this one. And CM Punk just proving that he had a little more gas left in the tank as he forces Edge to submit to the Anaconda Vice. So Edge, this was a really good match between these two. But in the end, CM Punk proving that, he had a little bit more left in him. As Edge, he's still fairly new to the wrestling ring. Mark Henry's a different story, but when you go up against somebody like CM Punk, he's been wrestling his entire life, for the most part. Really, Punk has a long history with wrestling, and he's a very technical superstar. He's got a lot of stamina, a lot more so than Mark Henry. So I think Edge may have just been a bit out of his league here tonight. Since he's fairly, a bit out of shape, he's got a bit of ring rust due to his injury and just, trying to come back. And CM Punk was able to take advantage and get the victory. So this is a big victory for CM Punk. Could potentially put him back on track to maybe be the future #1 contender for the WWE Championship. But only time will tell what the future will hold for CM Punk. And now it is time to move on to the next matchup on the card. This one is, like I said earlier, between two superstars who could really use a victory in this matchup. They're both coming off of losses on the TLC pay-per-view / pre-show. As we remember, R-Truth coming off the loss to the People's Champion, The Rock, and of course Cody Rhodes he lost big. He had a match against the Big Show, no pun intended, which was a #1 contenders match for the Intercontinental Championship, and Cody Rhodes missed out on that opportunity as he fell short in his match against the Big Show. But Cody Rhodes now, he's looking for a victory, and I think both these superstars really need to chalk up a win in this one. Or chalk up a win, I should say. Chalk, is that even a word? But, you know, they both are coming off of big losses on a pay-per-view stage, and, you know, they need to do something to rebound off that heading into WWE 2K14 season of Universe Mode, which, yes, that means the season premiere of Monday Night Raw will kick off Universe Mode, except, of course, you know, after the little recap customization episode, the obligatory customization and recap episode. I'm debating when I'm going to upload this video, because right now I'm doing the commentary, you know, obviously, because I'm not sure what my free time is going to be like. I'm debating whether I should just upload this, like, as soon as I can, like, render it out and have it just uploaded right away, or if I should hold off until a very special date on the channel, October 28th. I mean, you'll know by the time I have this video uploaded when it is. But last year, for WWE 13's season of the WWE Universe Mode, that came to a conclusion on October 28th, episode 96. That was the end of that season for the WWE Universe Mode. So I was kind of hoping to do the same thing here, October 28th, upload my final episode of 2K14 Universe Mode. And, you know, that's probably what's going to end up happening, so I don't know, that might have been a bit kind of pointless to bring it up. But another topic that I'd kind of like to touch on is, you know, WWE 2K15. That game's coming just around the corner, and I've been hearing a lot of flack, like, towards the soundtrack of the game, or soundtrack, at least for the first, like, 10 songs. People seem to, I've seen, like, a lot of criticism about it. It's like, I mean, I understand there should be more variety in the soundtrack. It's just a lot of rap and, like, pop music, and there's even a dubstep track in there, but I don't know. I think, you know, I agree that it does need more variety, but I feel like, you know, not only do people, you know, kind of give it too much flack for that, but, you know, because John Cena was the curator. He's the one who picked out all the songs, so because John Cena picked it out, the soundtrack sucks. That's what I've seen. I've been seeing, you know, varying degrees of that sort of message being spread around the interwebs. And, you know, while I guess that is kind of expected of, you know, the IWC, you know, we do have some ragers and, you know, those kind of people just out there. And that just comes with the territory. It just comes with the internet. You gotta expect that. But I gotta say, realistically, having the soundtrack that we have for WWE 2K15, it's better than having no soundtrack at all. Why do I keep wanting to say soundtracked? Keep adding an unnecessary T. But, you know, it's better than having no soundtrack at all. Personally, you know, I've been listening to some of the songs a little bit. Not many stick out. You know, I don't like many of them. Which hopefully the jukebox makes a return so we can turn some of the songs off. Because that was a really cool feature in WWE 2K14. You could kind of pick and choose your own sort of soundtracks and whatnot. Pick your own songs and all that good stuff. But, yeah, that was just sort of giving my thoughts on the soundtrack. Why do I keep adding the T? But, yeah, that was just my thoughts on the soundtrack. And, you know, there are a few in there that I do like, and if the jukebox feature returns in WWE 2K15, you'll be hearing some of the songs from the soundtrack that I kind of like. But actually, you know, and the two collaborations that Cena did with Wiz Khalifa, I'm going to touch on this and then I'm going to get back to the match, but, you know, those two songs, I really don't like all day. I mean, I'm not a big rap guy, but I do like Breaks. I think that's a pretty good song. I really like the chorus of it as well. But let's focus in on the matchup here now. As Cody Rhodes, he's got R-Truth and he's going for the Alabama Slam. Taking R-Truth down to the mat, the back of his head smashing off the mat. Cody Rhodes into the cover. 1, 2, 3, and that is it. Cody Rhodes, just like that, picks up a much-needed victory here over R-Truth on WWE Superstars. And I mean, wow, that's a huge victory for Cody Rhodes. I mean, if he wants to try to bounce back and have any sort of shot whatsoever of going after the Intercontinental Championship, then he needed that victory, because a loss here would have been detrimental at this point in his career. I don't know if he could have recovered from that, but luckily he did pick up the victory. But the same, you know, R-Truth, he's kind of at a bit of a crossroads in his career. No pun intended. Okay, pun intended. You gotta get used to it, man. I mean, if I'm making puns, you gotta get used to it. They're all intended. Well, maybe not all of them, because there are probably a few that are accidental. But Cody Rhodes gets the victory. R-Truth, he's gonna need to do something to rebound at this stage in his career. And after the loss to The Rock, as R-Truth made his pay-per-view return, I mean, I don't know. But R-Truth, I'd still say, you know, even despite that loss to Cody Rhodes, I'd still say R-Truth is a very valid contender in that U.S. title division. But now, it is time to move on to our second Divas matchup of the night. I know, how often does that happen? This may actually be a first in Universe Mode's history to have two Divas matches in a single show. And that's, of course, not counting, let me say a single episode, because that's not counting, of course, the Survivor Series pre-show and Survivor Series pay-per-view, where we did have two Divas matches, but you'd have to, those were two separate episodes, you'd have to put them all together. So, I mean, realistically, this is the first time that I can think of that we've had two Divas matches in one card. And what a matchup we've got here, as it is AJ Lee taking on Lita. Lita, of course, you know, she made an announcement earlier. It was posted on WWE.com. It was a WWE.com exclusive. This is Lita's retirement match. You know, she said she was coming around to see if she could hang with the best of the best here in the Divas division. And, you know, she did prove her case. She made it all the way up to a Divas Championship match with Kaitlyn. But alas, you know, Lita, her time has come. You know, she's been battling injuries, of course, you know, throughout her career. She's developed a plethora of injuries, especially with her neck. And, you know, this is her time. She just won't be able to, you know, compete in many more matches, and she'd rather, you know, retire while she can. You know, it was enough that we got Lita back for a few months. She managed to return and kind of spice up this division a little bit in the women's division. But, you know, this is her final match, her retirement match. And to go up against an opponent like AJ Lee, I mean, idealistically, the two, you know, I mean, Kaitlyn is a pretty dominant, she's been a pretty dominant Divas champion up until earlier tonight when she lost the title in the Fatal 4-Way. But that just kind of, you know, proves Kaitlyn's, you know, her strength as a Divas champion, as it took 3 other women collectively to bring her down and bring her title reign to an end. And AJ Lee, you know, she's best friends with Kaitlyn, so these two, they've got quite a connection. And, you know, like I said, their match at Survivor Series was, you know, a very back-and-forth contest. Put on a pretty good matchup for the fans. They've just got so much chemistry, so I think, you know, Lita to go up against an opponent like AJ Lee, who arguably could be one of the greatest divas in the division to date. Although she has not won the Divas Championship yet in her career, she has had 2 opportunities. Both were in triple threat environments, mind you. And, well, actually, then there was the third, which was, of course, the one-on-one match with Kaitlyn. But I think AJ Lee, up to this point, may have been Kaitlyn's strongest opponent. As hair glitch there. I mean, yeah, what a way to send us off WWE 2K14. Let's get a hair glitch, people. And now look at this, Hurricanrana by Lita, or AJ. I don't know what I'm saying. But, you know, AJ's got quite the technical ability, you know, especially for a Divas wrestler. So I think Lita, this is one hell of an opponent to go out against as your retirement match. So this should be a pretty good match. Just look at this, AJ Lee gets dumped to the outside. And now, oh my god, Lita going up to the top rope here. And AJ's picking up the steel steps. Not exactly sure what she's trying to do. Maybe just trying to throw, oh my god, Lita! A drop kick off the top rope out to the outside. And I think what AJ was just trying to do, I think she may have been, you know, just kind of picking up the steps to kind of try to, you know, well, from what I can make of it is, if you're Lita, you know, do you really want to risk a potential career, I mean, okay, obviously not career-ending injury because you'd be retiring, but do you really just want to throw caution to the wind like that and just dive out onto the steel steps? I don't think that's a very smart decision, and I think Lita realized that. But now we're back in the ring where things can maybe slow down a little bit and not be as risky. As there's a nice suplex into the pin, but luckily AJ able to get the ropes there for the rope break. And wait a minute, Lita was going for something big, but AJ managed to counter. And now Lita counters with a nice hip toss from behind, throwing AJ down to the ground there. And another series of reversals there as AJ now delivers a clothesline in the corner. And a big kick right to the lower back of Lita there. And AJ, oh, nice block there from Lita. And look at this. Lita, she's got the sleeper hold locked in here. And she's got the body scissors. AJ, I think her only hope is going to be able to try to get to those ropes, unless maybe she can try to, like, elbow her way out of this. And yes, it looks like she just managed to slip out of that sleeper hold there. But what kind of damage did that do to AJ Lee here at this point? And look at this. Lita going after the announce table here. And I don't know exactly what she's got planned here, but throwing AJ now back into the ring. And there's an elbow right to the face. And look at Lita now off the apron with a leg drop there. Nice move from Lita. As Lita now, she's beginning to gain control in this one. AJ with a nice shot right to the lower back there once again. Throwing Lita over there into the corner, but Lita counters. And now Lita, was going for something big. But AJ countered with a nice boot to the face. And now Lita, look at this. She's got AJ out of nowhere. Twist of fate from Lita. And that could do it. I think that's it. Lita hits her big finisher. There's a cover. 1, 2, 3. And Lita has won in her retirement match here against AJ Lee. She is retiring from Universe Mode, and she goes out with a victory. And AJ, you gotta give credit to these two divas. I mean, AJ, she may not have walked out with a victory, but that was a very impressive match against Lita there. And I think these two women have got each other's respect. So I still got to give credit to AJ Lee for a very, very good performance in that matchup, as Lita walks out of Universe Mode with a victory, as her career in Universe Mode has come to an end here in this match against AJ Lee. I mean, what a good match that was. It may not have had all the high spots and, all the things that usually seem to get the fans all riled up there at ringside, but, it was a very good technical-based match, and I think that was a pretty good match to go out on here in Universe Mode. But now coming down to the ring is the show-off, Dolph Ziggler, and he's set to go one-on-one with the man who came just inches away, mere centimeters away, maybe even millimeters. I mean, Christian was just that close, and if you can't see, the little hand sign I'm making, but, just that close, just inches, just very... Oh, wait a minute, what the heck? What the heck? David Otunga? What? David Otunga attacking Christian from behind. That just kind of shows what's been going on, as Ziggler was going out to attack Otunga, but Otunga hightailed it out here. Ziggler's a very respectable competitor, and he wants to face Christian at his best here. But David Otunga, of all people, comes out here and attacks Christian. I mean, that just kind of shows the luck Christian has been having lately. I mean, just seconds away from capturing the World Heavyweight Championship back at TLC, and now getting attacked by David Otunga. I mean, how can you predict that? I mean, Otunga has made 2, maybe 3 appearances in Universe Mode. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what Christian's got to be thinking. I don't know what Ziggler's got to be thinking. But finally, we can get this competitive matchup started. Look at this nice Hurricanrana there from Christian, taking Ziggler down. But really, I mean, how can you predict David Otunga to do something like that? But I guess, he had to fulfill that. We had to fulfill that, 3-day contract, or 3 appearance contract that Otunga signed back at the beginning of 2K14 Universe Mode, and I guess that was his 3rd date. Nice sunset flip there from Christian, using a nice springboard to his advantage there. And now Ziggler, well, the referee's going to have to get out of the way there, as, I mean, look at this. The referee, he's got to keep his distance, but instead just walking right in between the competitors here. Big DDT there from Dolph Ziggler, taking Christian down. But Christian back to his feet with a nice count of his own, delivers a bit of a miniature jawbreaker there to Dolph Ziggler. And Ziggler now countering Christian once again with the jawbreaker. Takes Ziggler down. But Ziggler back to his feet now with a very nice counter. And here's Christian. Nice Irish whip, and Ziggler goes off the ropes into a famous, sir! What a move by Dolph Ziggler. That could have him. One. No, not even a one count. Christian kicks out. But wham. What a counter there from Ziggler. Turning that into a famouser. Using his own momentum to his advantage. As now delivers the shoulders to Christian. Right to the gut. And now he's got him hung upside down here in the Tree of Woe. And Ziggler, what's he going for? Nope, Christian just manages to slip out. His stupid game mechanics not working. And big power slam there from Dolph Ziggler. Using Christian's momentum now to against him here. As there's a cover. But a kick out at one by Christian. And look at this. Ziggler back suplex there, taken down. Christian, as Captain Charisma so far in the beginning of this one, has been, you know, he's been back on his heels. He's got to try to get some offense going. So he delivers a couple punches to Ziggler. And Christian, neckbreaker, takes Ziggler down. But, you know, with Dolph Ziggler right now, I mean, coming off a victory over The Undertaker on the last episode of Monday Night Raw. I mean, Dolph Ziggler, I mean, a victory over Christian. I mean, like I said, with a victory over Undertaker, he could very well validate himself as a potential WWE Championship contender. But with a victory over Christian, you know, the former #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship, I think that position is all but secured for Ziggler. As now Christian here, counter from Ziggler, and takes him down with a nice arm drag. And now Ziggler, look at this. Nice float over neck breaker, taking Christian down to the mat. But Christian once again back up to his feet, and this is another power slam from Ziggler, just showing the competitiveness, the back and forth pace here of this matchup, and another kick out by Christian. But Christian, on the other hand, coming off that crushing loss to Mark Henry in his one last world title match. Look at this. Oh, what a neck maneuver there to Christian as he goes into the cover, like a neck twist sort of move, but kick out by Christian. And of course the show off Dolph Ziggler doing what he does best, and that's showing off. And now look at Ziggler. Irish sending Christian over to the corner, but no, we went for the splash. Christian countered and now into a nice swinging neck breaker. And now going right after the face here of Dolph Ziggler. And I mean, Christian coming off that loss, he's got to be pretty frustrated because, you know, he wanted that one last World Championship title run. And unfortunately for him, he was not successful last night at TLC, as he was unsuccessful in defeating Mark Henry. He came, I mean, he was just so close. I mean, words can't even describe how close Christian came to becoming the new World Heavyweight Champion. Look at this, going for the kill switch. Looking to put Ziggler away here, but Ziggler able to counter the kill switch. And now Dolph Ziggler, big kick to the gut. And now he's got Christian. Look at this, back suplex from Ziggler. And now a kip up as the show off, you know, just showing off his talent here. And now he's got Christian going for the zigzag. Oh, but Christian now. Christian counters and a chop block right to the back of the leg there. And Ziggler, very smart move, rolling out of the ring. Getting out of harm's way. Because, you know, Christian probably could have been going for that kill switch once again. And I don't know if Ziggler would have been able to counter it a second time. But Ziggler now, once again, another back suplex, this time out to the floor. And this is a very back and forth matchup here so far. But Ziggler appears to have the advantage. And now just kind of taunting for the fans a little bit, trying to get the crowd behind him here. As you know, the fans, they don't really know who to cheer for in this matchup, as both these two superstars are fan favorites. And now look at Ziggler. Ziggler going to show off a little bit more for this crowd, as you see the headstand headlock there. And now Dolph, he's going to go into the cover, maybe trying to make Christian pass out here. And he gets the victories. Again, we get some split screen there. Stupid game. At least this is the last episode of 2K14 Universe Mode, so hopefully 2K15 won't have that same issue. But, you know, we'll just say Ziggler hit the zigzag out of nowhere and defeated Christian. I mean, wow, pretty back and forth matchup. But you also got to say, you know, Christian, he was attacked by Otunga before the match. So that was a very impressive performance after being attacked from behind, getting his head smashed into the steel steps. So I think, you know, it's pretty fair that Christian was beat without getting hit by a finisher. And, oh, okay, that's a bit disrespectful from Christian, but to be fair, you got to understand where the man is coming from. You know, that crushing defeat at the hands of Mark Henry last night at TLC. I mean, you know, I understand that he's a bit frustrated, but I don't think that's exactly, you know, that was a pretty good match. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted on what to say here, because Christian, while you know, it was disrespectful. Ziggler and Christian, they had a very, very contested match. What's the word I'm trying to think of? They had a very competitive match just moments ago, but Christian, I still think it's a bit disrespectful to not shake Ziggler's hand after a match like that. But to be fair, you know, really, not only did he lose to Mark Henry last night, but with David Otunga, of all people, attacking him before the match, I mean, I don't know, his mind's got to be a little bit scrambled. I mean, how can you predict David Otunga, a man who has only appeared twice in 2K14's Universe Mode, to come out and attack you from behind for no apparent reason? I don't know. I can kind of sympathize with Christian, you know, with his actions, and he's a bit frustrated. Hopefully Christian, you know, once he's calmed down a little bit, he can realize that, and, you know, maybe apologize to Dolph Ziggler for his actions, as I do feel that an apology would be in order. But, you know, we gotta set that aside, because it's now time for the main event of the final episode of 2K14 Universe Mode here on the WWE Superstars Special. This is between the two brands champions. The World Heavyweight Champion Mark Henry goes one-on-one with the WWE Champion John Cena. Raw's best against SmackDown's best here on the final episode of 2K14 Universe Mode, and I don't know what's up with my throat. Excuse me, sorry for that, but my throat was just kind of drying out or something. You know, I just got, like, really, like, I needed to cough or something. So I apologize for that, but big headbutt from behind now to John Cena there. And now Mark Henry picking John Cena up here. But, of course, you know, Henry, we've talked all about how Henry is coming off that victory over Christian last night at TLC. But Cena, John Cena, was able to finally put his rivalry with The Undertaker to bed. He was able to finish that off, and he defeated Undertaker once and for all in the TLC match and retained his WWE Championship with an attitude adjustment off of a ladder, mind you. And then, of course, you know, after that, it was all she wrote. Taker was done. He was down for the count. But, you know, both these superstars are going to be dealing with some fatigue. You know, potentially some minor injuries that possibly could have been sustained in that TLC environment. Because, you know, with all the weapons that, you know, can be utilized in that match, and all the falls from the ladders, falls through tables, I mean, these two superstars are going to be pretty banged up. So neither of these two are at 100% here, and I think that's going to be factoring in this matchup. But the question is, who is in better shape between these two superstars? Is it Henry or is it John Cena? I don't know. If I were a betting man, I would probably have to put my money on John Cena, because, you know, Christian and Mark Henry, I mean, not to discredit the match between Cena and Undertaker, I mean, that was a pretty good match in its own right, but Henry and Christian went through hell and high water throughout their TLC match for the World Heavyweight title. So I got to think that Mark Henry's got some more fatigue. He's going to be a bit more banged up as compared to John Cena. I think Cena, you know, while he's going to be pretty banged up as well, he's going to have some pretty decent damage. I still think Henry's less than, I don't know. I think Cena's closer to 100% than Mark Henry, as I try to gather my thoughts. And Cena now, nice move there, taking Henry down. But I mean, you know, now's the point in the episode where I gotta say, I want to thank you all for the support throughout 2K14 Universe Mode. You know, and also, you know, if you've been here for the support for WWE13 Universe Mode as well, as that reached its conclusion. GM Mode is going to be reaching its conclusion. We're going to wrap that up here in the next few weeks. So we're heading into, like I've said before, a new era here on the MathWiz97X YouTube channel. I mean, we got 2K15 coming about, Career Mode, Universe Mode, UCW 2K15, get hyped for that. I mean, man, I am just so excited for that series, even though it's not going to be till like January, late January, early February, so I can gather all the created content and whatnot. But I mean, man, that series is gonna be epic if I have anything to say about it, and hopefully the same holds true for the WWE Universe mode in 2K14, which is, of course, going to be picking up not long after the game's release, November 18th. Bang! What a move there. Nice counter from Henry. There's now Henry. You know, we can see Cena's days. Look at this, Cena with a roll-up on Henry. He's got him stacked up on his shoulders, but Henry powers out at 1 there. There's these two superstars. I think this is going to be a bit of a quicker match. And look at this. Speak of the devil, John Cena. Attitude adjustment, and he just seems to try to prove my point. So there's a cover. 2, 3, and just like that, the match has come to an end. Cena hits the AA out of nowhere. And, you know, while this matchup may not have been as epic as it normally would with these two superstars at 100%, I mean, like I said, Henry, I believe, is more banged up than Cena, so that match could have had a different outcome were the two participants at 100%, but Cena gets the win here. The quick victory. Now look at this, Roman Reigns! Roman Reigns from behind, blasting John Cena in the back of the neck, taking Cena out, and Roman Reigns, you know, making a statement for the Shield here tonight, and not only for the Shield but for himself. Is look at this. Wait a minute! And now Roman Reigns attacks the World Heavyweight Champion Mark Henry. Oh my God! What a statement made by Roman Reigns. But I want to thank you all for watching. And until WWE 2K15's Universe Mode debut, keep on YouTubing.